Hello and welcome. I'm at the Packaging Recycling Summit in Chicago today. But in this special episode of our PackHub interview series, I'm joined by Casey McHugh, Conference and Community Manager for London Packaging Week 2026. We recorded this in early June when there were 100 days to go until the event, so it's really exciting and we're even closer now. Casey shares with us what's new for this year's show, the thinking behind the 2026 theme of discovery, and some of the trends, speakers and innovations that visitors can expect to see at XL London this September. We also discuss the growing role of the Innovation Gallery, new features including the Design Hub and Startup Zone, and why London Packaging Week continues to be one of the most important events in the packaging industry calendar. I hope you enjoyed this conversation, and if you're planning to attend London Packaging Week 2026, please do come and visit the PackHub team at our stand and say hello and join one of our Innovation Gallery tours. You can find a link to register for free to attend the show in the description. All right, let's get started. Hello, this is Paul Jenkins, founder and CEO of ThePackHub. I'm delighted to be joined today by Casey McHugh, who's Conference and Community Manager for both London Packaging Week and Packaging Innovations and MPAC. How are you doing today, Casey?
Hi, Paul. I'm doing very well today. It is a really horribly disgusting weather in Twickenham at the EasyFairs offices, like pouring rain. But yeah, it's very busy. It's a busy time for us, but all is well.
All is well, and it's an exciting day. The sun is kind of shining because it's 100 days until London Packaging Week is alive and well. So can you tell us a little bit more about your role at EasyFairs and what you're most excited about for this year's event in 100 days?
Yes. So yeah, I'm the Conference and Community Manager for London Packaging Week and Packaging Innovations and MPAC. I've been with the company, my 2-year anniversary actually just came up there, but I have about 5 years experience in conference production, specifically back in Ireland. I used to run like sustainability events, manufacturing events, pharma events. So sometimes there would be sessions and stuff on packaging, and I would be like, oh, this is a niche little interesting area. But of course, I was doing so much that I didn't really think too much about it. But yeah. I remember just wanting to make a change and move out of Dublin because I'd lived there for a long time. So when this job became available, my previous manager has like a really close relationship with EasyFairs, and he was like, I wouldn't recommend any other company more. So I came and I saw and I conquered, I got the job. So London Packaging Week 2024 was my first edition, and I've done 4 shows so far. So 2 London Packaging Weeks and 2 Packaging Innovations and MPAC. But this year, I'm super excited for the 2026 edition. The official hard launch just happened this morning as of today, the 8th of June. And it's been going really well. And we've already got really great brands registered, like Aldi, Boots, Charlotte Tilbury, Diageo, some M&S and Tesco as well. So we're kind of hitting a lot of our key sectors of FMCG, beauty, drinks and luxury. But as the conference manager on my end, I would be most excited about the content program. So we've got some really great speakers confirmed so far, like Piara Toniolo. She's the global head of influencer marketing for Dolce & Gabbana. So that's going to be kind of an insight into how luxury brands are scaling through digital, and then like the whole unboxing moment and stuff like that, and how packaging plays a role in that. We've done a lot of focus on drinks this year, on the kind of low alcohol space. We have the founder and designer for Tom Holland's beer brand, Biro. So the designer is Alex Center. He's from New York. He's got his own design agency. He used to be the global design lead for Coca-Cola. So he's got really great experience and a lot of good insight for how to design for that kind of market. And then we have a few sessions around like the World Cup, and then a few sessions on how to create packaging for the new consumer, like the next generation, Gen Z or Gen Alpha, whatever you want to call it. And then we'll have a few policy-led sessions from PAC UK. There'll be a keynote on day 1 from Esther Carter, and then a panel on day 2 from a few different voices in the industry. And then we'll also do a session on DRS as well. So it's all very exciting. And then the awards, the Innovation Awards, which, you know, you work on that with me, Paul. So we had a lot of really fantastic entries this year. So just excited to see that come to life on site where everyone can like look at the products and learn more about them.
Record amount of entries, I believe.
Yes, over 200 entries, which, then needs to whittle down for the online judging, which will go live by the end of today, and then the in-person judging in July. So that'll be very exciting.
Excellent. So this will be your third London Packaging Week. I mean, how is
Yes.
the vision for London Packaging Week? How is that evolving over the past few years?
So, from what I've been told by the team, because obviously I've only been in it the past 2 years, but the show used to be at Olympia, and then there was obviously a kind of a rebrand from Packaging Innovation and Luxury Packaging London to London Packaging Week. But in less than 5 years, the show has doubled in attendance from
Wow.
2,600 attendees in 2021 to 5,752 in 2025. So obviously we have high benchmark of what we want to achieve this year. Obviously, hopefully we hit over that 6,000 mark. That would be fantastic. And the show has evolved from it had the four kind of key sectors of FMCG, beauty, luxury, and beverages. But now we have two new zones added onto the show. We have a design hub, which is powered by Pentawards, who kind of work at the Easy Fairs team as well. So it's a dedicated zone for packaging design specifically, which will have exhibitors who are design agencies. And then we have a startup zone, which is for the kind of emerging suppliers who bring new approaches to the industry. So they have a specific zone as well. So the show has really kind of grown and it's kind of become embedded in the industry as like the home for, packaging design and marketeers and technologists and everyone. So, yeah.
Brilliant. And the PackHub is exhibiting yet again because we get tremendous value from it. It's just such a really good event to meet all the customers that we would like to have a conversation with. So what about some of you've already explained in great detail the content and some of the speakers and themes that you've got, but what's some of the biggest themes and trends sort of shaping this specifically this year's show?
So the main kind of theme for this year is discovery and how discovery is everything. So this is kind of the show where you'll discover, new materials, new ways of thinking, the new partners you're going to work with, new collaborations you'll meet. So then when you're on site, the show will be kind of packed full of insider trade secrets that you're meant to discover along the way. But then looking specifically at the content program, we talk to our friends and family, we talk to you, we see you all the time. We talk to the advisory board and we kind of identified 5 key themes for this year for the program, where it'll be circular futures, so that's like policy, sustainability, next gen solutions. So, that kind of ties into the startup zone and the kind of the sessions we'll hear from with those guys. Design to desire, so that's like your premiumization and all that kind of stuff. And then the conscious consumer, which is the new generation of consumers and how do you design for them, how do you create products for them, packs for them. And then kind of one of the biggest ones that people wanted to hear from was the efficiency impermative. So how to deal with the rising costs and the shifting supply chain issues and how our brand's going to rethink their packaging strategy. So those are the kind of key themes on the content program, and I hope you think they're relevant, but the main show theme is discovery.
Discovery, that's a brilliant theme. I'm lucky that I'm proud that I've been involved in the Innovation Gallery for many years for both events. Talk to me a little bit more about the Innovation Gallery and what it brings to the show.
Yeah, so as you mentioned, like the Innovation Gallery has been a part of the show for years, and it's always a very popular area to go and see the latest innovations from our suppliers. So it's been very popular. In the past, we've limited to 10 finalists, but this year, we feel like people need to discover more innovation, and the suppliers are always really entering really innovative stuff. So we're going to have 26 finalists this year for London Packaging Week 2026. So we're going to be doing tours as well, hosted by Paul Jenkins. I don't know if you know him, but you're going to be hosting it. So that will just be at the Innovation Gallery, twice daily across the 2 days, where you'll just kind of go through, this is why it's a finalist, this is why it's innovative, etc. And And then, it's the tap to vote system. So, you have your smart badge and you just kind of tap and you vote for who you want to be the winner. So the winners and the 2 runners up will be announced on our FMCG stage on day 2. And we'll get some nice pictures and hand out awards.
And that's certainly something worth winning, isn't it? If you think all those
Yeah.
exhibitors and all those entries to be voted the winner by the attendees is certainly something to be very proud of.
Yeah.
You talked about the startup zone. What are the new features to the show? Are there to the show this year, and what should people look out for?
There's just so many new things happening at the show this year. I feel like every year both shows just get bigger and bigger. We just have so many ideas and we're finally bringing them to life. So kind of the content perspective, because I just have to always push the content, that's me. We have the Discovery Theatre, so the suppliers who will be in the startup zone and the design hub, this is where they get their time to shine. They get to do a 15-minute presentation about who they are, what their product is, and a few case studies that makes what they do extremely innovative. So it's nice to bring the new players in the market and the creative minds in the market, and give them their own space. Then we'll be doing the podcast studio, which is brand new, and it's funny that we're on a podcast right now. But that's where you can kind of have the unfiltered, casual combos about the realities of packaging, and you can hear from some of the biggest packaging podcasts in the remit right now, but also as a visitor or as a supplier, there'll be kind of free time where you can just hop on there and have your own conversation, and we'll have someone to play games on there, like packaging confessionals, so that'll be quite a fun one. And then we're also working with Packaging News on an exclusive networking breakfast for the Women in Packaging Excellence Awards and that cohort of 2026. So we'll be doing, before the show opens, 8:30 to 9, a networking breakfast. And then from 9 to 10, we'll do kind of the power hour of some insights from them, hosted in collaboration with Packaging News. That will be invite only. So if you're interested, keep an eye out on more information, keep an eye on the agenda, or, email me or get in contact with me and I can look at hooking you up with a spot to that. But I will say, the show has something for everyone, not just from a content perspective. There's so much to discover on the show floor. There'll be over 220 suppliers to meet with, there'll be networking opportunity, there'll be packs to touch and feel, very tactile at this show. So it's very much worth the time out of the office to attend.
Excellent. You talked about networking. How important is the role of networking and community for the show?
I mean, from a personal perspective, having been in conference production and, working, back in Ireland, I used to run 17 events a year. I feel like the packaging community is the most engaged community that I've ever worked with. I feel like I'll go to a show and I'll see you, or I'll see so many friendly faces, and everyone is just so engaged in the content, engaged with the suppliers. Everyone is so active on social media. So it's a really exciting industry to work with. I feel like we've been putting more effort into building our network and giving the show more of a community-like feel. We go to a lot of events ourselves, but we're doing events now with Pent Awards. We're trying to see our friends and family network more. The team are constantly on the phone. We have these times of the day where we ring up, VIPs or visitors who've registered for the show, just to understand going beyond the marketing or going beyond sales, going beyond content, just to understand people and, make them feel at home with us. So we're all very passionate about the sector, and I think that makes the event stand out. It's definitely been a privilege to get to know a lot of the lovely speakers and the judges and all of our award entries, and see them come back year after year, because then it just feels like you must be doing something right if people want to keep coming back.
And talking to people coming back, I must have attended the last 15 London Packaging Weeks or packaging innovation shows since I first got back into packaging. But for those that are new to the event and maybe attending for the first time, what would your advice be for them to get the most out of the event?
Yeah, so yeah, for first timers, it can definitely be daunting to like, rock up to a trade show and you don't really understand what's going on. So on the registration form this year, we do have the opportunity that if you're a first time attendee, you can tick a little, yes, I'd like to attend to the first timers drinks. They're going to be going on our networking bar called the Inner Circle Bar. So just make sure you tick to attend that, and then you can network with people, meet the correct suppliers, meet other people who are like-minded, who might want to be like, find a little friend, and you can walk the show together and like make sure that you get everything out of it. I would also say to, make sure to download the show app once you've registered, because then you'll just get all the updates that you need, like the exhibitor list, the speaker list. You can favorite people you want to meet and stuff. It just makes everything a lot easier. So that's my
Yeah.
advice.
And I really like the app because it gives you alerts for when the speaker slots that you've chosen to sort of see is happening. So I find that really useful as well. So looking ahead, what do you hope attendees and exhibitors will take away from London Packaging Week this year?
I feel like just every year, I hope that everyone accomplishes everything they set out to achieve, because, it's time out of the office. You're going to a trade show. Yes, we can provide loads of fun activities and there's, lots to do. But I hope that every exhibitor leaves with like lots of new connections and that they have those important conversations. And then for the attendees, and I suppose for the exhibitors as well, if they've left learning something from either the content sessions or even just from someone they've met, then I feel like as long as they enjoy the overall experience, that's all we can really ask for. I feel like in general, the events industry is really going from strength to strength, especially like following COVID.
Mm.
The importance of just meeting face to face, like it's beyond parallel. Like there's a reason why the events industry is so popular right now. I feel like this show is there's no better opportunity to meet who you need to meet and discover the new innovations, other than attending a show like London Packaging Week. So yeah.
Totally agree. For me as a business, the PackHub, London Packaging Week and packaging innovation shows are the most significant, important things we can do as a business in terms of marketing and meeting our customers and that. So it's a vital part of our marketing plans. So
That's great to hear.
keep it happening, keep it going. So brilliant. Thank you very much, Casey, for your time. That was really, really interesting. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul, and thanks everyone for listening. Thank you.